Hi, I'm Lakshya Rana and today I am in Zee News studio with Mr. Vikram Gulati, who is Toyota's country head and executive vice president for corporate affairs and governance. We will talk about several key topics like Toyota's journey in India, carbon neutrality, EVs, hybrids, ethanol as fuel, and the impact of recent GST reforms on the automobile industry. Welcome to Zee News, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
My first question would be related to carbon neutrality. The world is talking about it, and India has also set the target to achieve it by 2070. So, what is Toyota doing to contribute to this?
First of all, I'd like to point out that carbon is going to be one of the biggest issues confronting humanity, primarily because of it being, heat absorbing gas, which is resulting in climate change. Globally, Toyota in 2015 promised to become carbon neutral by 2050 not on a tailpipe basis, but on a life cycle basis. Right. What that means is we are taking responsibility of eliminating carbon, not only from the vehicles that we manufacture, but also from the manufacturing that we do, as also from our suppliers, our dealers, that is the entire value chain. Towards that, in India, I'm proud to say we've already achieved some very impressive milestones. Today, in the manufacturing side, we have 100% renewable energy usage for our electricity requirements, which is making our manufacturing very close to becoming carbon neutral. In terms of the products that we are selling today, we have sold a very large number of hybrid electric vehicles. Given the fact that in India, electricity primarily today is coal-based, so on a well-to-wheel basis, the hybrid electric vehicle turns out to be the lowest carbon amongst all technologies, including battery electric. So having introduced this technology, we are looking ahead in terms of bringing technologies that are sustainable, low carbon, and meet all the customer requirements, which may include all the technologies, battery electric or flex fuel electric vehicles or flex fuel vehicles, etc.
You have mentioned about hybrids. So, in India, the debate between EVs and hybrids is intensifying. What is Toyota's perspective on the ideal pathway for India's energy transition?
So we believe the real enemy is reducing fossil fuel usage, and towards that both hybrids and electric vehicles achieve the same objective.
Okay.
It's really, the fight is really not between technologies, I would say. The fight is really how to speed up at scale the displacement of conventional petrol and diesel vehicles, so that we can move towards sustainable mobility in the future. Actually, if you look at it, both hybrids and electrics are very similar, because a hybrid electric vehicle has two powertrains, right, one of which is a full electric powertrain. Right. It is capable of moving on electric only mode on its own for a fairly long distance.
5 to 10 kilometers. Yeah.
Actually, if you do the study that was done by government testing agency, shows that a hybrid using a very small battery can run on electric mode up to 60% of time and 40% of the distance. It's because of the technology robustness. Right. The most important point to note is, since electric powertrain parts are common between a battery electric vehicle and a hybrid electric vehicle, they are complementary in nature. Meaning, for every hybrid electric vehicle that I sell, I am creating demand for motors, generators, high powered systems, electronics, and batteries, which can help to accelerate the localization and hence bring down the cost of these parts, which will actually benefit electrics as well. So this whole debate about electric versus hybrid is highly misplaced, because both are doing the same objective of reducing fossil fuel consumption and decarbonization, and both are complementary in nature.
And what's about ethanol as a fuel? What is your take on it? Will ethanol as a fuel work? Will people accept it? And what benefits do you see if we go for ethanol as a fuel?
First of all, we have to identify that ethanol is biogenic. Now, what do I mean by biogenic? It comes from plants, sugarcane,
Right.
your rice, broken rice, maize, etc. Now, when plants grow, they absorb carbon.
Right.
So the fuel that is made from this material, this feedstock, is essentially carbon neutral. So therefore, it is as clean as having renewable electricity. So that is one very important point. Second important point is we don't have to depend on technology or import of parts or anything else, and it's all indigenous.
Right.
It helps actually the agrarian economy. So every liter of petrol or diesel that are displaced by ethanol is actually going to help increasing the incomes of farmers. So in my view, this is the most impactful, best suited energy pathway, clean energy pathway towards mobility in India and the global south. We've already achieved E20 over a very short period of time. E20 means that for the petrol that you're buying now has 20% ethanol and
Absolutely.
80% gasoline. Now, in a very short span, this has helped save India 1.5 trillion rupees, यानी कि 1,50,000 crore rupee of fossil fuel imports. Of this, 1.4 trillion rupees have gone to farmers. The contribution can be also measured by the social impact. For the last 5 years, we've not seen any disturbance due to non-payment of dues to sugarcane farmers. We've seen in some of the agrarian states like Bihar, etc., the price of maize go up from 12 rupees to 24, 26 rupees, thereby improving the livelihood of those people. Most important, since ethanol is carbon neutral, it is not adding carbon to the environment. Therefore, it is helping to fight climate change. To my mind, this is the most impactful low-hanging fruit that can help us achieve sustainable mobility in the fastest possible manner in a scale that cannot be matched by any other pathway.
So, correct, sir. But what about the issues that people are facing with E20? People are upset with it. Claims are being made that it reduces mileage and increases wear and tear. How do you see it?
Well, before we reached E20, there was a lot of deliberation within the government and the industry. In 2021, the Premier Vehicle Testing and Homologation Certification Agency, ARAI, had done a study, very elaborate study, wherein a lot of old legacy vehicles, some of them being older than 2010, were given by OEMs, four-wheelers and two-wheelers, to the testing agency to do a very detailed study analysis. This study basically shows that there is a efficient fuel consumption deterioration,
Okay.
but that is very small, 2 to 4%, hardly anything, negligible. And the deterioration in terms of the vehicles is also very negligible. So I think there is a misplaced understanding of the impact of E20. It has not really had any adverse impact on the durability of the vehicles and very minor impact on the fuel efficiency.
Now let's move to the next question. The recent GST 2.0 has given a boost to automobile industry. How do you see the coming months for the industry?
So first of all, there is both a direct impact that's been seen and also an indirect impact. Direct impact is that throughout the automotive space, there has been a decrease in GST, 28% plus cess going to 18%, and some of the larger vehicles staying at 40% net. The drop has been very significant, which has led to the OEMs passing on this benefit to the consumers, which in turn has led to very good healthy demand. The past couple of months have seen record sales. They've been highest ever. This is not only driven by the direct impact, like I said, with the reduction in the tax and the passing on to the consumers, but also because of the fact that the simplification and lowering the incidence of taxation on the entire economy has also had a booster impact in terms of consumer confidence and spending that is visible. So that impact is also playing out. We are seeing good momentum of sales going ahead, and sustaining right now.
Where do you see automobile industry closing this year?
Well, I wouldn't want to put place any particular number, but I would definitely say the forecast that we had in the beginning of the year in terms of year-on-year growth will be far exceeded, definitely.
Viksit Bharat is one of the key agendas of Indian government, and Made in India is a crucial part of it. Tell us about Toyota's contribution to Viksit Bharat.
Well, Toyota, ever since it's been started its operations in India way back in 1999, over the last 26, 27 years, we've been focused on the fundamentals. And one of the fundamentals that we have been focused on is creating a globally competitive local ecosystem. This means working with our suppliers, bringing in technology and investments, and also focusing on skilling. Just to give you some number perspectives, we've invested over 20,000 crores so far, not only from a Toyota Kirloskar Motor point of view, but also from our group company supply base. Recently, we've seen also big investments happening in the clean advanced technology space. One of our group companies called Toyota Kirloskar Auto Parts has invested in making the e-drive, which is a key component of electric powertrain here in India. It set up a plant which is making 135,000 units. It is very proud to say that this is the first plant outside of Japan in Asia, and this plant is already supplying these e-drives back to Japan. And most importantly, this is the first company in the auto component space which has got the PLI. Besides this, our local content in our mainline products like Fortuner, Innova are above 90% local from a value perspective. Even for advanced technologies like the electrified vehicles we are selling, this number is around 80%. We are striving to work towards continuously working with our suppliers, also focusing on skilling to make sure that our local ecosystem remains globally competitive, not only in terms of costs, but also in terms of quality.
Okay. But sir, Toyota is seen as a global pioneer in mobility. But in India, the growth appears stagnant. What could be the reasons behind that? And how do you see Toyota's journey in India so far? And what makes the Indian market unique for you?
Well, I would slightly disagree with your observation of our growth in India being stagnant, because for the last 2 years, we're continuously churning numbers which are best ever and growing rapidly. We're now very close to 8% market share in the car market space. And month on month, we've been recording highest ever numbers. So we are growing rapidly. Going ahead, we are also investing. Like I said, there's a big investment that's already happened. This includes investment of around 4,000 to 5,000 crore rupees towards the third plant that is coming up in Bangalore itself.
In Bangalore itself.
Bangalore, yes. And of course, the parts side also is seeing investments. More importantly, we recently announced the new investment in Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar in Maharashtra. This is a very big investment which over a period of time in phases will see investment to the tune of 20,000 crore rupees plus. This is just Toyota Kirloskar Motors, and if you count suppliers, it will be much, much bigger. And also, if you look at it in terms of the thinking of Toyota globally, India market has always been amongst the most important for us. Recently, we've also reorganized the global regions, and India sits in the middle of a new region called TIME, which includes the Middle East and Oceania and India. This is a very big region where the TIME office is centered around India itself. And the plant that is going to come up in Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar is going to be focused primarily on green technologies and will not only cater to the Indian market but also to the global market. We are seeing very healthy growth in terms of exports as well. Collectively, I think cumulatively till now we've made something like 30,000 crore rupees of exports in terms of vehicles. And if you count parts as well, that's 10,000 crore rupees. So far we've seen 40,000 crore rupees of exports happening out of India from TKM and its group and Toyota group companies. Going ahead, this number is only increasing because our export of vehicles is also rapidly expanding.
Okay. So now it's time to conclude the interview. But before that, I would like to know if you could share something about the product strategy. How many new products and what kind of body type products we will be seeing in near future from Toyota?
Well, I'm sorry, but I cannot get into specifics, but I would like to just share that we have products in all the segments and the body types, ranging right away from SUVs, MPVs, crossovers, hatchbacks, and the pickups. So we have a very robust product lineup. Going ahead, we continue to observe the market and listen to our customers very keenly, so that we can meet their needs and requirements in the fastest possible manner to meet up to their requirements, both in terms of the product portfolio as also in terms of the technology mix. Going ahead, we are focused on all green technologies, whether it's any of the electrified vehicles or
Hybrids or
hybrids or battery electrics or the ethanol products. We are technology neutral, but are keenly wedded to the sole objective of moving towards sustainable mobility.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time.